Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Minecraft podcast thing with
Hey,
me and LuckyDutch.
hi there, how you doing?
It's Saturday night. It's Minecraft time. It's time to craft mine.
It's Saturday, 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 yay.
That's right. And
Yeah, it's one of the songs, De La Soul. Now it's time to act no fool tonight. Forget about your worries and you will be alright. Saturday, Saturday. I feel old now, thanks.
you're welcome. I don't think you're that much older than I am, but that's fine.
Well, I know, but like, it's a really old song and nobody remembers that song anymore. I'm like, fuck, I'm old.
I don't remember this morning. It's fine. There's a creeper in front of our house. I'm gonna try and lure him away. Into it.
Creeper?
Oh man.
Oh man.
Before anything, and while no one's here to actually recognize that I've actually done this, I would like to give a quick thank to Assassin Bish 1982, Danielle X 1990X, and Nightshade 310 for following me. They all three of them did that yesterday. Actually, I participated in a Twitch quiz that they were present as well at, and you guys are awesome. Had tons of fun. So yeah, I hope to catch you guys soon, and hope for you guys to catch me soon. And all catches. Because Twitch is one big catch.
I guess you can say that like that, but
I mean, there's
I don't know. The Twitch overlords will be happy about this. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pookie, how's it going, man?
how's it going, bud? How's it going?
How's it going, man?
How's it going? How's it going?
You doing good? Good to see you. Good to see you.
So, I actually have a challenge for myself today while doing Minecraft.
Awesome.
I'm gonna make a building.
You're gonna make
an important building.
What kind of building?
Well, it's something that we see on a regular basis when we play Minecraft. And it's gonna be a treasure chest, but not just a treasure chest. It's gonna be 10 times big of a treasure chest.
Nice. You're reviving the treasure chest from well, that's the one you did on the previous world, didn't you? Or you wanted to. You wanted to anyway.
Yeah, I wanted to. I did the TNT one last time, but I think the treasure chest is more easier, mainly because this is in creative mode. So yeah. Anyway, so welcome.
Welcome. Pookie, we like to play Minecraft on Saturday nights. This is our building currently.
Exactly.
We've got a nether portal that links to two other portals around here, so we can pretty much fast travel to places, but we're gonna expand that network even further. Given the opportunity.
And there's gonna be like constructions on the side here and there, so that's pretty cool.
Yep. But for the most part, this we're not really here to play Minecraft predominantly. It's just a backdrop, a familiar backdrop.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just chatting.
It's more of a podcast thing.
It's more of a podcast.
So, and also like how our lives are going, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I actually, I recently ended something that was basically my own personal hell. And it's finally done, or at least the signs say that it's finally done.
So tell us what ailed you.
Okay, so you know that I recently bought a house, right?
I don't actually. I don't think we talked about that.
Well, I recently bought a house.
Okay.
Well, recently, half a year ago, and I basically bought my old student house, like my own, like a college dorm, my own dorm. I bought that off because the old landlord was like, "Yeah, fuck this. I'm not gonna do this anymore." And I saw an opportunity, and I asked my family, and I asked the bank, "Hey, can I get some can I get a loan or something like that?
Financial
First
support.
of all, yeah, financial support. They were debating at first, but then when I told them I also have a permit to keep students in it, I they thought, you know what? Okay, so basically you already technically have an income from said house. Well, that's correct, definitely. But like, it's because it's the first year, it's still a rough up. They knew that as well. But like, hey, they saw an opportunity, and
Yeah.
here I am, and I bought the house officially on the 28th of December.
Nice.
So, yes, and that's the first part. But then the second part comes in. I found out that the landlord, the previous landlord, didn't have a good financial registration, if you know what I mean. Like
Okay.
he didn't do any proper booking, if you know what I mean. Like he didn't he didn't have a good list on how many people paid on what and how many people they on this,
Oh,
pay
he
on
didn't
this,
do the
and that.
inventory thing, did he?
Yes, exactly. He didn't do shit. He just like, oh, every time a new person comes in, it's gonna be 10 euros higher, and that was fine when he bought it. That was fine. But
Yeah.
right now, not anymore. That's you need to like focus on this. He was losing money from that house, so I, unfortunately, including myself, had to raise some of the prices for the people who are living in it because hey, listen, you pay jack shit for internet and you use it all the time,
Yeah.
and I'm paying the full price for internet because I was one of the recent ones compared to the rest. And everybody got mad. I completely agree. I completely understand, and some even left. But uh, they, the thing was, is that they didn't have a leg to stand on because, like, listen, either you need to pay more or you have to leave. Unfortunately, which I found extremely sad, but I get it. I completely understand.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna get evicted by somebody else because if there's no money coming out of this house, the bank will take it and they will kick your asses out.
Yeah. Simply said.
Simply said. That's the basic thing. So one of my, I mean, I guess one of my close friends, or used to be close friends, was one of the people who were like really against it. And eventually, the friendship started to deteriorate because he was like, "Oh, according to this law, I can do this, I can do that," and basically he was the problem. He was like the problem of every situation and every situation that I got in. He was always on my neck.
Yeah.
I did get like lawyer help at least, or like
Yeah.
jurist help, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Uh, I got that kind of help, and it helped me out. And eventually, on the 1st of January, like 2021, suddenly I got a mail plus a phone call from my quote unquote friend
Yeah.
who said to me, like, okay, listen, I completely understand that you can do this. Sure. No, I completely, that's fair. That's in your right. Completely fair. However, it's also in my right to look up how much I pay for this. How much I pay for this, and apparently it looks like I measured the whole room, and apparently I paid way too much for the empty deposit. So basically, instead of like the regular thing that he had before everything was happening, he had to pay 340 euros total.
Yeah.
Then it had to go to 360 euros because hey, the all the other stuff was included. And then he went to 305 euros. So basically, he screwed me over with 55 euros simply out of that. And I said, listen, you can't you can't do this. Yes, but it will financially ruin it will ruin me financially, and you will get evicted. And
Yeah.
he legitimately said to me, and I thought he was my friend, until he said this to me: "I don't care that you made a bad investment."
Yeah, no, that's a shitty. You
And
can't do that.
then then shit hits the fan. Then I was like, okay, you were gonna play it like this? Okay, I see where your narratives are. And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm a poor student and this and that. I'm like, fuck
No,
off.
that's bullshit.
Who has
No, he chose the hill he wanted to die on, and it wasn't
yeah
a very
you,
stable hill. It was a very steep one, and he has to live with that now.
yeah, and he was like, listen, bro, you're telling me to pay that you're gonna pay less than you usually pay. And he was in his right to do it, because like if he did it to the previous landlord, he would have been evicted straight out. But
Yeah.
due to him still being in contract with the old landowner or the old landlord, I couldn't kick him out. So he was like basically screwing me over.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man.
Then like this and that, and eventually he felt like, oh, I miss our friendship. I'm like, listen, yeah, and then he also like talked about like, hey, I know you're going to therapy, and I know you're doing a rough time. Just know that you always can talk to me. And I'm like,
Talk about
bro,
what though?
talk about what?
Let's talk
Right
about your rent,
now,
idiot.
it's like, bro, right now, the shit that I'm going through, like the mentality I have to get through, is caused by you. You screwed me over. Like I can, in my personal, in my defense, like if he told me, like, listen, I could have picked more from you, but I didn't, then I would have done something else. Then I went like, okay, I completely understand. Fair enough. Fair enough. No, but he went the extra mile. He wanted to eat it. He wanted to bake the cake and eat it as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so it got back and forth, and eventually he got a little bit of a trauma. There's something going on, like he got stress attacks or something like that. It's really unfortunate. I really do. I really mean that. But
Yeah,
like,
of course.
it's like, come on, man. It's like you're not gonna get like you're gonna get some sympathy out of me, but not
Yeah,
the full 100%.
it's like, yeah, get well better, but as soon as you do, like, you still have to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't talk your way out of this one. Eventually, he told it me myself to like, hey, listen, you need to get evicted. Like I no, I mean like he's gonna leave himself. He said it to me. He said it himself. I'm gonna leave.
Then
He
do
he
it.
marked it on email address, and he did. And I found a loophole, because accordingly, accordingly to law,
Yeah.
if you say you need to give a 2 months notice to like say like, hey, your rent is gonna go down or up. You need a 2 months notice for that.
Of
That's law. So
course.
not only if the rent goes up, but also if it goes down.
Of course.
And he didn't do that. So I was like, listen, you still need to pay this amount of money still to me. Like you still are 110 euros short. And he said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. So when he left, I took it out of his deposit.
Well, yeah, because that's the only fair thing to do at that point. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
exactly. And then he was like, yeah, what the fuck? What are you doing? Listen, you're not going to pay me the deposit. Then I will take it. You're not going to pay me the money that you owe me. Then I
yeah,
will take it from your deposit.
that's literally what the
End,
deposit is for as
end
well.
of all discussion. And then he was like, oh, fair enough, fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. Then in the middle of the night, I got a message saying, let me translate it for you. Um,
Okay, that's probably for
right.
the best, because Pookie is a hard-born Englishman, so you won't understand the Dutch at all.
Yeah, but like here. It was first he was like, okay, it's fine. I completely understand. Um,
Then,
then he said to me, I would like, um, however, I would like to say this.
mm,
I have laid uh, uh, I laid down the floor like a really nice wooden floor with my dad, and I've added the investment in the house. Therefore, that means you owe me 140 euros for laying that on the floor.
No,
It's like no, because
because
uh,
the job's already done. So with rent, it's different because that's actual like you
well, not
know
only that, but like he did it he did it in 2020 when I didn't have the room, when I didn't have the house. So he
it's
needed to arrange
yeah
it with that man, not
it
with me.
it's
I
not
have jack
yeah
shit about it.
there's
I bought the house. I bought the house with its full capacity, and and the floor was included with it.
yeah
So I did some lawyering up. Like I looked around, I did this, I did that, and
yeah
he said to me, like, I was like, listen, I don't agree with this, and he said, bullshit. I'm gonna pick up the floor, or you're gonna pay me the money. If you don't do this, I will report you to the police for darkening, for
shady
businesses,
dealings.
shady dealings.
Yeah, so
So I'm like, so I got fucking nervous because one, he will legitimately call the police. I'm like, yeah, and then my dearest friend just simply said, bro, the police isn't coming for 110 euros. They
no,
won't do that. Plus, then he showed me the stats. Like, listen, you bought this house in 2020, 21, right? Yes. And he laid the floor on 2020. Yes, yes. And there used to be a carpet, right? Yes, there used to be a carpet. Where's that carpet? I do not know. He probably doesn't know either. So that means he needs to find the carpet and put it back there. Or he needs to buy a new carpet. And right now, if we're going to look at the new carpet, he needs to pay 175 euros to put a new carpet on the roof, on the floor. So we put it all down. And then he sent a message to me and my dad, because my dad also keeps an eye out.
of course.
He wrote down, and I quote you here. Um, Listen here, my dad's name and my name. Um, you're ripping off a poor old student. How dare you do this? I've done everything within the book and within my right, and yet you stabbed me in the back. I'm incredibly disappointed in you, and I actually hope you die a quick death. No, I mean,
What?
I hope you die fast. Please, for the love of God, do not contact me again, and for the love, don't contact me again, or I will call the police.
You
Go die in
can't.
a fire. Go die in a fire. That person.
Yeah, no. You
He not
legally.
only did it to me. He not only did it to me. He did it to my dad as well.
Yeah. So that's illegal. You can't do that.
Exactly. He had eventually. I hate to do this, but right now I have this email address with. I have this email address right now saved, so that if he's fucking around,
Yeah, you
I
can
have
literally just
something.
say, "Look, this is literally threat of death. That is illegal."
Yeah. And like the thing is, eventually he won though, because eventually the 3 months that he was in the house, he had to pay less than he usually should have had. So technically, he already got the money out of the floor, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So he has nothing to complain about, in my opinion, because he already screwed me over. He already had to pay less, and eventually I was like, we're done.
Yeah.
And you know what the worst part is? You know what the worst part is? He was
Mm.
when he was suddenly he told me to when he was threatening me about the cops. He told me to ask my father for advice,
And you did.
which I did, and he told me to contact a certain person, like a jurist, and he laid down everything to me. And basically, if he didn't shut the,
Yeah.
if he didn't give me that advice, or he was harping on like answer me right now, stuff like that, then I would have.
You probably wouldn't have thought about doing that.
I wouldn't probably have thought about doing that. So he basically also screwed himself over with that. So yeah, and it happened 2 days ago. And no, it happened yesterday actually. Yesterday we finally put down the knot. He's out of my life.
Good.
And yeah, I mean, good. I still find it bad because.
I mean, it's unfortunate that it had to happen that way.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's unfortunately because the problem was simply said, I miss a friend. I've completely missed a friend, and I felt betrayed. And it wasn't only about the money. It's more like the way he treated it, which hurts me more than anything ever else. He didn't just like flat out say like, "Hey, let's compensate something." No, it was like, "Do this, or I'm gonna call to the police. Do
Yeah.
this, or I do this." I have friends who completely agree with me. He keeps saying like, "I have friends who completely agree with me, and you're full of shit," stuff like that. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
Of course your friends are gonna back you the fuck up. Of course.
Yeah. So are yours,
Are you
by the way.
fucking kidding
Your
me?
friends are gonna back you up. What does that mean?
Exactly. Like right now, you hear my part of the story, so you're gonna back me to fuck up. But maybe if you heard his side of the story,
Yeah. Well,
then maybe you will.
here's the thing. This is the beautiful thing for me is basically I side with whoever I deem is most responsible. Now, basically with all of this, right, including
Yeah.
the rent and everything that he needs to pay and everything, and including like the provision of services, which is what he essentially did with laying down
Yeah.
the
That's by the way, for like just to sum it up, it's gas, electricity, Wi-Fi,
yeah,
water,
all included.
like all the included stuff. You know.
Yeah. So when it comes to the provision of services, which I know everything about as well, this goes the same. Hang on.
Bless you.
Thank you. What is the capitalist's greatest weapon or greatest tool, rather?
Money, the
No,
law.
no.
No idea.
It's very simple. You mentioned this very thing earlier.
Jurist?
No,
Time?
no.
No, I'm.
It's a
no, no idea.
contract. It's a
Oh, the
contract.
contract. Ah, the contract.
Because
Yeah.
in a contract, it states exactly what is expected of both parties. So,
Yes.
in other words, you are the landlord, right?
Yes.
Within
Yes,
within this contract, it says that this person owes you this much money every month for the provision of, shelter, Wi-Fi, gas, electricity, whatever you have. And he pays for that monthly a certain rate, and in
Yes.
return for that, if something is off, like if something that you are meant to be providing isn't working properly, then you have the responsibility to fix that. That's what it says in the contract. That's the landlord's responsibilities and the tenant's
Yeah,
responsibilities.
and I've been doing that for like a while now. Like
But there you go.
right now, one of the, for example, today, one of the housemates are like, "Hey, listen, this key isn't working properly." Okay, then I will oil. Either I will oil the key,
Yeah.
or I'll oil the lock. It's my responsibility. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I
and
don't.
if that doesn't work, then you go, okay, well
I'll get a
my
new
key
key.
clearly works. Let me get the locksmith. We'll sort this thing out, right? So that's one thing. So the point is obviously like in the contract it says you have to pay money. He signed it. From the moment that he signs it, there should be a date on the contract as well. From this point on, until the contract is terminated, every month so and so payment. That means that if he lives in that room at a time that is after that contract, but before the contract is officially terminated, he owes you the money. Now, when it comes to the whole floor thing, when he laid down the floor, he had if he did that, he must have either written up or signed a contract that, as you stated, because it was a year ago, you weren't part of, right?
Yes.
But second of all, he comes to you and he says, "Oh, I expect to be paid this much for this job." No, when he did the job, it must have said in the contract what he gets in return, whether it's payment or like a discount on the rent or something like that. But that would have been agreed at the time. He can't just sling you into it because that should have already been provided.
Exactly.
So
And
that's
I've
all written in the
already,
contract. And if you fuck up on the contract, believe me, I've been screwed over with contracts many times where I didn't cite something carefully enough and I got screwed over. That's how it is. That's how the world basically treats you if you make a mistake. They will, like, people will try to get the most out of it. At the same time, that's why you have to be foolproof in your wording to the extent that both parties are happy. And he clearly
well,
hadn't
I
done
don't,
that.
yeah, wording. Yeah. Not, like wording on paper, not on thing.
No,
And
no, a verbal contract is a thing of trust, and in a business situation, you can't just go off of that. That's not good
yeah,
enough.
exactly. Yeah. That's why I always like, my personal opinion, I love email addresses. Like, damn,
Oh yeah,
those fuckers are tight as fuck.
and
Like WhatsApp, a lot of people say, but WhatsApp is also a good contract. No, no, it's not. No, it's absolutely not. Because um, 2 months ago, I lost my phone
mm-hmm,
and I had to buy a new one. Everything that I agreed on WhatsApp from my side is completely gone.
yeah,
I also was offline for a couple of days because I didn't have the phone yet. So like there were no how should I say, there were no I couldn't keep any promises because I wasn't there in the first place. I have my email addresses. I still have that. Still
yeah,
could have done
exactly.
that. So that's why I've also talked about it with my dad, who also knows a little bit about it. And WhatsApp isn't that reliable of a contractable source as people think it is.
It isn't, but it is, because basically, as soon as it's so, for instance, right? Last week on Saturday, which is why we started a little bit later last week.
Yeah.
I was called in the morning by the play. I wasn't called, sorry. I was sent a text message by my former manager asking me if I could do an emergency shift, right?
Yes.
In this text message, I replied to her and I said, "What time do you need me? I can do it for 150, 150 pounds." And she texted me saying she agreed with that. That is now a written agreement, right? Even if it is text, it still counts because I can still prove that she said that she agrees to my rate. Now, obviously, if I lose my phone or something like that, yes, or it, God forbid, it gets wiped somehow, then yes,
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
lose that. Except
Yeah.
that by now I've already written an invoice.
Yeah. That but it's then outside of WhatsApp.
It is.
So it's not fully reliable.
It isn't fully reliable, but it does go a long way and it does
Like
count for
yeah, it
something.
has, obviously it has some perks, but like it's not 100% reliable compared to an email.
Also, this is why you back up your system.
What?
You
Yeah,
can
backup your
you
system.
back up your phone, and that way, like, if you get a new phone, you can always just offload your former data just onto your phone.
Well, except for like the messages that you got on WhatsApp.
No, no, you can do it for WhatsApp as
During
well.
Yeah, but like you don't get any WhatsApp messages between the time that you lost your phone or gained a new one.
Ah, but okay, yeah, sure, but that's because because it's
So basically, they can't like you can't rely on it that much because hey, that part is gone.
yeah,
You can't answer, so you can't even agree with it. So it's not a reliable source. With email addresses, it can be on your phone, it can be on your computer, it can be on anything.
that is true. That is very
WhatsApp
true.
WhatsApp is the only thing that you need. It's a must required is a phone number, and I guess yeah, obviously Wi-Fi. But like,
Yeah.
let's ignore that for a moment. But um,
Having said that, nothing stops you from taking screenshots of messages.
oh, obviously, obviously. but like it's not a 100% reliable source because eventually
Nothing is, to be honest
you,
with you.
you'll still come to the problem that you can't respond or receive messages during the time that you lost your phone.
Okay, I have a counter to that will work out pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Don't lose your phone.
Yeah. Come
Maybe
on, you can't.
like if you
Are you kidding me? At least.
if you do professional
And
dealings with your phone, then protect it with your life because it
yeah, I
technically
know, but
is.
like, come on, man. It's
Like
it's like
it's a doomsday assumption,
true,
and
but
it's not a bad thing to
at
do.
least
Like
at least one phone per person is lost. Let's be honest here.
one
At
phone per
least,
person,
yeah, at least,
as in 100% of the people who ever owned a phone have lost it at some point.
yeah, has someone at least it's regular these days that at least one person has at least lost one phone in their life.
Okay, well they're idiots then.
I mean, if everybody does it, does it make you an idiot?
No, I guess it just makes me brilliant. I don't know.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like not everyone.
I've
I'm not
broken.
saying that everybody does, but like it's a generalization.
Yeah.
Like let's say like the average birth rate
Where
right
the
now
fuck
is
am I?
0.83 in the Netherlands. That
Yeah.
doesn't automatically or like let's say in India, the national birth rate in India is like 3.7. That doesn't automatically mean that every uh, civilian of India has 3 kids. No, it's a generalization.
No, well that's an average.
Yeah, that's an average.
Yes, but
I mean, yeah,
what you said doesn't account for that because you said everyone has at least lost one phone.
yeah, it's the average.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
it's yeah. Okay, it's just you didn't really present it as an average. You just
Yeah,
presented
sorry.
it as a
That's
stated fact.
yeah.
It's
No,
fine. It's
no, not
just
a
we're on
fact.
the same page now. So yeah, I get
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I guess the average person loses one phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't automatically mean that everybody does, but like, it's hence that's why it's not a reliable source. Emails, however, you can't accept if you lose a password, but like you seal it up. But like you can always mark it down, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Emails are a reliable source because one, uh, if you can't do it on your phone, okay, you can do it on your laptop. If you can't do it on your laptop, you can do it on some. Then you can do it on a different kind of computer. If you can't do it on that kind of computer, you can literally do it on an iPad. You can even do it on a freaking iPod Mini if you want to.
Yeah.
There's always there's even a stopwatch that has your email address. The only thing that's required by you and which you can write down everywhere in the whole goddamn world, your email address with your password. That's the only thing that you need to focus on.
Yeah.
And basically like a phone, you only have one phone with your email address on it.
Depends who you are,
You
but yeah.
Yeah, okay, depends who you
Most
are.
people have
Okay.
just a one phone.
Yeah, it's okay, let's just generalize it then. Like the
Yeah.
average person.
Yes.
A password a password can be written on paper, can be written on your laptop, can be written anywhere. So that's
Yeah.
why I find it to be more legally standing than a than WhatsApp.
I wouldn't put it that way, to be honest with you. I'd say it's more legally secure, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
okay,
It's
more
not.
legally
It's yeah.
secure. I 100% agree on that one, but I'm more reliable on like emails than on phone.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Like it's like everybody like, hey, let's go back to generalization. But then like, doesn't matter. Email, email king. But yeah, so that's what happened to me. The couple of days. Uh, it's either way. Let's get back to the topic. It's unfortunate. It's generally
It is.
really sad that this happened.
It really is.
And it's like not how he treated it in the end. Literally wanting to send death threats to me and my dad.
Well, it's not even about wanting to do it. He just did it.
He just fucking did it. It's not only that, but also how he treated it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. Some people disagree with this, but I don't see myself as a monster. If you have a solid argument, let's say like, hey, this right now, this is the contract that you signed up to me, and unfortunately, you need to pay more because the taxes of the electricity bill are higher now, so you need to do this.
Yeah.
And then you search up like, hey, I'm already paying way too much for my room, but listen, I don't mind paying this amount of money right now, but I'm not. But you're not going to raise my rent, and then I will be fine. Like then I wouldn't have a problem. Then I'm like, okay, that's a reasonable argument, and I might even agree with that. Sure, I'm going to lose money, but hey, he is standing on solid ground and respectable ground, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, exactly.
But he just didn't.
He just said, I'm not going to pay that.
Not only that, but also he just threatened me with calling the cops
No!
or suing my ass.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me.
By the way, when he does something like that, just say like, go ahead. See what happens. It'll be funny, I promise.
I mean, yeah, I can, but like, I mean, yeah, I can, but eventually, it's like being sued or being mentioned that you're being sued is not only time draining, but also credit draining and
It
reputation draining.
it is, but at the same time, it's like, first of all, okay, so I'm sure in the Netherlands you have something comparable. In the UK, you have something called a small claims court, which is basically court, but
But like
about,
mini.
yeah, it's like about like smaller interactions. For instance, I was stuck with this because
I think it's a
um,
YouTube channel right now.
probably basically a couple of years ago, I moved out of my previous place. This was 2-3 years ago, and I needed to get the deposit, and so they sent it to the wrong account number,
Oh
and it
no.
ended up in someone else's bank account, and they didn't want to give it up. So the sender, which was my landlord at the time, my previous landlord even, at that point, had to basically go into small claims court because it was only about like £650. So
Still quite a lot though.
it's still quite a lot, but I think small claims court is literally just that, is like anything that's like not ridiculously much, like not anywhere in
Yeah,
the
okay.
thousands or something.
Compared to the
Yeah,
government, it's like cheap change, but for you,
yeah.
it's like, hey,
And that costs barely anything, and usually they'll try to kind of like move the crowd along, because honestly, it's not really worth it, having people hung up on that for so long. How am I in the desert? Where the fuck did I go?
let me give you my coordinates. 200, 64, and then minus 40.
-40.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta go this way. Ironically, through the desert.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that we have a desert nearby.
Um,
If you find some sheep, carry them away here, please.
I can't. I don't have anything to carry them with.
Ah, shit. Okay, well then I'm gonna search for sheep.
Irregardless. Um, oh, there's a well here. Um, yeah. So basically, the situation that you described, like if he wants to sue you fully, like full on court, over what he said, 140 euros, then no, that's a like he will literally, like any lawyer will look at him and just go like, "Are you real? Are you serious about this? You're gonna drag someone to court over this? Are you stupid?"
Yeah, that's what my dad said as well.
Because there is no case there. So, and then if you go into small claims court, you will still lose. Because he doesn't have a case.
And let's not forget, you still have to pay the fine. You still have to pay the service of either calling a lawyer or like actually registering yourself on small court or stuff like that. There's
Yeah, but
probably
the fees at that point won't be that high. Anyway,
fair enough.
he'd be stupid to do it. That's what I'm saying. It's because it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
I mean, like the thing is, and I was debating about it, but thankfully my dad was like, "Fuck no, don't do this." But there was a time where I legit was like, you know what? I don't want to be bothered with this shit. He's already tormenting my life as it is right now. I'm just gonna give him the money. And
No,
my dad,
no.
and then I was like, and then my dad was like, no, don't fucking do this because listen, this, that, stuff like that. And eventually, the thing, the thing that really bothered me is that I had a conversation with him when he sent it to me, like um, back when he was like confirming, like, hey, I'm gonna pay this stuff, like yada yada yada. He needs to do this. You need to do that. Okay, I was like, fair enough. But then end of discussion. Then what he said to me, and I'm gonna get my notes again because hey, I need to do this here.
Of course.
I was like, hey, he sent to me, hey, by the way, I pay from now on the 306 euros. I'm like, you know what? Just do it. But then we're completely done with this shit. Then he wrote down, but why are you actually so pathetic, right? But why are you being so pathetic right now? Are you losing something? Are you making a loss or something? I'm really angry about this. On the way you and your dad treated me is really pathetic. Then I wrote to him, of course I'm losing money. Why did you think I was doing this in the Why did you think I was doing in the first place? And I told you not to talk. I told you not to contact me anymore about this because we're officially 100% done about this.
Yeah.
You pay what you think you need to pay, and then we're completely done with this. And don't think I'm being pathetic right now. I'm trying to move on with life. Right. I'm trying to move. I'm trying to move on. I don't want to hear this brag about money this, money that, because right now, what you're paying me is not the only problem I'm having with the house. I still need to do repairs. I still need to do management around the house. And the first month hasn't even passed. So, sure, pay this fucking money on the exact date that we mentioned.
Yep.
And then leave me the fuck alone. And that was basically it. Like, hey, listen, don't be the high man on this. Don't be the fucking high man on this. I'm trying to move on. You don't. But and eventually with that message, I understood something, and it's a saying in Dutch. So it might be a little bit weird in English, but I'm gonna say it in Dutch. Even if you give the man heaven, he will still complain he doesn't have enough.
Well, it's the old expression that's like, give a man an inch and he'll take a whole mile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that might be better, but like.
Yeah. Or give a man a
Like
finger and he'll take the whole hand
I'm
or arm.
I'm just gonna say it in Dutch so that Ron understands it, just completely. Al geef je hem de hemel, hij vindt het niet genoeg.
Yeah, no, it's exactly that. It's
Yeah.
literally yeah. Give a man an inch and he'll take a mile.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And that was the mentality. So I was like, okay, so if I actually gave him the money, then he will probably ask for more or like stuff for more and this and
Yeah.
that, and he was gonna walk all over me. And my dad was like, listen, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna make the biggest regret in your life. And thankfully, I didn't. And how he treated, and right now, how he treated this.
Oh, hello, Duelist Magikarp. Thank you for the follow.
Hey, how you doing?
Friend of yours?
Hey, this is Sam. Yeah, this is Sam. He's
Nice
a Magikarp.
Cool. Welcome, Sam.
She's a nice lady.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. So this is the podcast. I recently,
Ooh, woo.
yeah, you're gonna get used to that. If they're coming
Oh,
from
it's
me,
fine.
then they're definitely gonna say stuff like
You know
this.
what? I didn't even say this, but like, the other day I was doing a stream where I like, played some music and then went on to Sims 2, and guess who came by? It was Ghosty.
Hey,
Came
that's
by to
cool.
say
That's cool.
hi. Asked me when the podcast is. I said today, so hopefully you should
Yeah, I
show up as
told
well.
him. He was like, yeah, it's almost at midnight, so maybe I can show up, maybe not. But he said he will think about it.
Okay. Well, everyone's welcome here.
Yeah, exactly. We're not here to. We don't judge. We
Oh
don't
no, we
judge.
judge, but
Oh yeah, we judge. If you play Despacito, we judge.
yeah, get out. Um,
Yeah.
no, it's like, well, this here's the thing, like, how, like in a lot of Twitch streams, often. Oh, geez, thanks for the
Oh
sub.
no! Oh
Thank you very
God!
much. I appreciate this so
Oh
much.
Lord!
This makes
Lord,
the
yeah.
second person that you bring on the stream and has subbed.
I know my people. I know my
Instant,
people. My people are good people.
instantly, I only have 2 subs, so keep them coming.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. So
Um,
yeah, it's
yeah,
but yeah, that's basically how the law's all about.
yep.
And it's really sad how it
DJ,
ended.
how's it going, DJ?
Hey man, how you doing? So
How?
yeah, since new people are coming, and I think I'm done with the topic anyway.
Yep.
You guys can decide what the podcast is going to be about now.
Give me 2 secs, mate. I'll be back.
So,
No worries, mate. We're here.
So if you come back, or maybe even Magikarp herself can write down like a topic that we can talk
Yep.
about.
Because this is something that we want. Basically, so what I want to say as well is, like, how like a lot of people on Twitch, like when they have their channel, they say like, this is a judgment-free zone. Just be yourself and stuff like that. This is a zone where we will judge you. However, we expect judgment in return.
Yeah, exactly.
Because let's be honest, no one in the world is perfect, and I don't think we should treat ourselves as such.
And we will try to be nice about it. However, just try to be nice about
it. Yeah.
No exceptions there, my friend.
No, we'll be nice.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, maybe.
At the very least, we'll try to be. I'm gonna do some groundskeeping, okay, by the way.
So yeah, so
because this bit is covering the path.
So Magikarp and
how's it going, my man? Pretty good, dude. I'm still buzzed from last night. Lucky I didn't tell you. Yesterday, DJ here. He hosted a quiz. I think he does this every Friday night. Correct me if I'm wrong. I participated for the first time yesterday, and I joined first place. Thanks for the bits.
Lord.
Those are my winnings. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just making sure. You gave Miss Gamerkeeker our fair share as well, yeah. Because basically yesterday, so DJ got I can only assume so ridiculously drunk that like in the chat we were spamming that I was tied first place, and he kept saying that I was the only winner, and we were like, he'll find out when he wakes up. It's fine. Yeah, mate, I'll drop in our stream on Sunday. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But thanks for the quiz, man. That was great. I had a lot of fun.
So you're a drinking man.
Yes. Well, it's a quiz. No one. Who does a quiz sober? I mean.
You actually have a fair point on that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's not right. It's not right. Also,
I mean, it sounds horribly wrong that we're saying this, but you're right about that. You're right about that.
It was fun having you there. Thanks for.
It's horrible that we're saying this, but you're right.
Yeah. Dude, I'm happy I made you laugh, man. I'm so that was great. Yeah. And also, yeah, like I'll be honest, again, I'll reiterate this to you, Lucky. I was joined first place. Like, something tells me that if I was sober, I wouldn't be giving the other guys much of a chance.
You know what? Fair enough. I'll take that to heart. Oh, I found sheep.
So, you found sheep, great.
Yeah, I found sheep, but they're pretty slow on coming with me.
Yeah, that's sheep for you.
Come on, man. Income. The Magikarp shows up. "Oh, these are those are Lucky's people.
Those are Lucky's people.
Yeah,
Not all of
the
them.
thing is, like, yeah, like story time. Back when I was a little kid.
I was about to say
Yeah, I
something.
was about to say exactly. So back when I was a kid, uh, actually right now it's still happening, but still,
Sure.
when I was a kid, um, I had a lot of like fluffy hair. I still do, but like it's I had a lot of fluffy hair, and my grandpa and like my family used to come from the textile industry, and basically what the textile industry his direction was maintaining the sheep. So like, hey, that we have
Shoot.
enough sheep for like the textile stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically that was a joke, and then eventually when I go to school or something like that, they will find out my history. They will find out this. They will find out that, and eventually everybody called me a sheep, and I was like, got that, and it
Yeah.
never got away. And then one day I sent a message on Discord, and I showed my actual face, and then somebody just screamed at the top of his lungs, "Sheep!"
Of
And
course.
then
It
and
will
then
always
and
chase you.
then and then and then Sam ran with it, and then Tara ran with it, and then like
This
it.
is the thing now.
I
Lucky's a
never.
sheep.
Yeah, this is my life now. This is my life now.
So DJ,
So yeah.
when are you going to be playing guitar next on stream next? Um, I'm not sure. To be honest with you, haven't told you as well. I'm flying out on the 26th of June, to see my parents in Portugal. So I'm going to be like
Ah,
for 2 weeks. I'm not going to be doing anything at all
bro,
regarding Twitch
why is everyone going to Portugal? I don't
because my
understand.
parents live there. That's for me the reason, But also,
Ah,
Brits love Portugal. Like
yeah, for some
it's fucking
reason.
insane. Like my parents keep telling me like they're fucking worried because everyone that they come across, they can understand when they speak, and it's very concerning to them.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, so basically until then, I don't want to dedicate myself quite to a schedule yet, regarding streaming. So it will be literally like when I feel like it. Maybe Tuesday. I'll try Tuesday, like afternoonish. Oh no, I'm doing something Friday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. Um,
Yeah.
you'll see me go live. Real life comes first. Enjoy your holiday. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Um, yeah, no, I'll find a moment to do that. Um, and then yeah, like we said yesterday, like let's jam. If the internet connection allows, if it's fast enough, let's jam. Because you got
Do
some chords.
we got a question? Do you
You
play Dauntless at all? I do. I still do.
I
I
don't.
play it a lot. I play it a lot. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's just Monster but cheap." I'm like, "Yes." And then nobody says
Okay.
anything, and I'm like, "It's like, yes,
Yeah.
it's true. What are you
Uh,
gonna do about
I
it?"
I haven't actually played it yet. Bitch, I played with you on Switch. Shush, Lucky. Oh, is that? She's asking me.
Yeah.
So I don't play Dauntless. I do have it in my Epic Games library, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh, we
Um,
should play it sometimes.
yeah, we can do. If the Saturdays
It
like
it it,
Minecraft
it
feel a
it's
bit
gonna
stale,
be. Yeah, but keep in mind that you can't really podcast when we're fighting monsters.
dude, I can
Like
podcast doing anything. I won't play very well, but I can do it on
yeah,
anything.
exactly,
I've got to get the kids
exactly.
to bed, mate. I'll be back soon. No worries,
Like
man.
we're
Take care of your
like
kids.
like we're in the middle of talking about the economic crisis. Meanwhile, you're fighting a dragon. It's like, yeah, something. It doesn't go that well.
Yeah. The
It's like,
dragon.
yeah, like, yeah, die dragon, and then suddenly, like, yeah, I agree with the financial status that
Just
is
leave it to
happening
me,
in
ooh,
Israel
I
right
can
now.
bash shins with my hammer.
Yeah, that's true. Sam, sorry, I keep saying Sam. I really shouldn't. Magikarp is,
Yeah.
yeah, like the thing is, she already told me the real name, and I feel really shit about it. And it's also in her Discord profile, so I keep saying that name, and I feel really bad every time I say it.
So basically, what I found is that yes, there is absolutely merit to like. She doesn't care.
Okay.
There is merit to like not having your name online and stuff like that. Most people I think don't really care. They just have a username that they use. Um,
Fair enough.
like
I
people
mean,
call me Braz or Brazel or whatever. You can call me Ron. I don't care. Um,
I do, but it's more like a little topic issue. I think it's more like iffy.
gonna make it a temple.
Um, it's basically if I'm online, I'm lucky, but if I'm offline, I'm gonna have my real name. Like hey,
Yeah.
I wanna have time for this, and I wanna have time for that, and I wanna use two different names for it. So
Yeah.
that
No, but
I'm more like hey,
yeah. It's entirely understandable.
it's I want to keep like. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hiding it. I'm not really hiding it, but um, it's something that it's something like it's more like of a sustainable thing in my mind. Like okay, then when somebody says lucky to me, I will have that setting in my head, and then I will be like okay, hey, okay, we're gonna talk about this then. Okay, fair enough. And if people talk about my with my real name, then okay, I have this setting. So like, hey, it's I like it as I like it being a little bit different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know
Like
what you mean.
if it makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it does. I think it does. Me personally, like, cause obviously, like, I travel under many names.
Yeah.
There's Razlatkin on the internet. There's Ron in real life. There's NORDINARY for music stuff. Link below, obviously.
Oh
Um,
yeah, shilling. Yeah, shilling, shilling.
I mean,
Album,
I gotta
album.
mention it every time. You know what? Oh, do you know what? So here's something. I was meant to be shooting a music video tomorrow for someone else.
Oh, for
Um,
someone else. I was like, hey, can I be in it? Yeah, I'm gonna be like,
there's
I
yeah, there's no way it
I
would
could be.
fit, but yeah, absolutely.
It's like, hey, it's like just like when the music ends, I'm just gonna show up like, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Um,
Just
I was
like,
gonna yeah,
subscribe
so I
already.
was gonna have to shoot one for someone else. And basically when he hired me to do so, and again we're talking about contracts. I was weirdly dumb about this. Um, like basically we didn't have one is what my mistake was, and so what happened was like he hadn't actually written the track properly yet, and he hadn't recorded. So that was going on for like a couple of months. I think like 2 or 3 months. And we weren't sure when, but like eventually he said, okay, we're shooting on this day and whatever. So 2 days ago, I sent him a text and I go, hey, are we still shooting it this weekend, and like what time, and when. He said, okay, so good news and bad news. The good news, I finished the track. Um,
Hey,
it's here. I think it's pretty good. That's not my words, by the way. I haven't listened to it out of spite. Um,
oh,
but
come on,
like,
man, you at least need to listen to it.
well, here's the thing, because I did give feedback to it, so it's like, well, there's part of me in this as well, so it's only fair if I do. It's just because of it, I heard so many different iterations, and I'm kind of cold to it now. Um, but then he said the bad news is a friend of mine offloaded some um high end camera gear, so I don't need you guys anymore. Me and a friend, I don't need you guys anymore. But thanks for the feedback on the track. Here's £40 in Bitcoin Cash. I was like,
What?
because like that's his payment for my feedback or whatever. It's like, okay, thanks. I don't I don't quite know. Okay. I don't know. It was such a weird interaction, but because of it as well, that £40 means that I've been paid more to provide feedback on someone else's track than that I've made in total on my own fucking album.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is weird.
Then again, I don't know the music industry, so it might be completely common. But yeah, that's weird. But
Yes, it is more profitable to give feedback on someone's track than to make one yourself.
yeah, that's kind of weird. Like you're getting way more to be a critic than actually doing something yourself.
Yeah, and the suggestions I gave, like, he didn't really even fully implement anyway. Because I just said, how much is your album? So so here's the thing: it is free on Spotify and most streaming services, but if you want to buy it on Amazon or iTunes, for some reason, uh, I don't brightly remember. I think it's either £5 or £6 or dollars or I guess local currency. I don't think it's any more than that, because I like the standard option is like, I think it's like £10 for an album, but I was like, well, it's only 6 songs and it's only like 30 minutes, so I don't think it's fair to ask that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Also, it's
Think
it's
of
my
it-
it's my first one, and it's my first like musical contribution, so it's like, well, I don't think it's reasonable for me to ask any more right now. So I thought, 30 minutes is almost as long as the OST of Kronos from the Ashes. Yeah, and you know what? I did find that like a lot of older like 60s records, like Beatles and Bowie as well, are about 30 minutes. So there's nothing really wrong with that.
let's not forget Queen, who has the longest fucking album ever.
Do they?
I think so.
Which album?
Hold on.
What, Day of the Races? No, The Miracle?
I think The Miracle.
Oh, is this
Who
because...
has the longest album? Album. It's the commonly the commonly shortened to the boy bands have one. Its full title contains of 156 words. On to okay, so these are words, but like
Yeah, no, that doesn't
how
count.
many
I know...
how many songs does the longest album have? Oh, here. So the longest album is released in 2013,
Hmm.
and
That's not Queen then.
it's by a Welsh band called the Quiet Marauder.
It sounds like a metal band.
It's a Welsh, so like Welsh songs, stuff like that.
Oh, like Welsh
And
folk?
yeah, and in the CD itself, it has 111 songs in it.
That's long.
However, the full time, the CD have a total running time of 4 hours, 49 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Oh, dude.
So yeah, I
That's
thought it
un-
was Queen, but
that's
apparently
that's
that's not.
funny, because that makes it the longest album in the world. But I happen to know what the longest track in the world is. So, and I don't remember when it was written exactly.
Inivado da Gida or something like that?
No, 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 no. Pink Floyd's The Wall's pretty damn long. Yeah, but it's not 4 hours.
Yeah, okay. But like
Um,
it's not just one full 4 hour song. It's like
no.
the album itself is 4 hours
Yeah.
long.
The longest song in the world is about a week long.
Really?
Yeah, it's written by Tom York from Radiohead. It was written for a convention. So the idea of the convention was that for the duration of the convention, at any 24-hour bit, the music wouldn't loop. It's just like the next bit, and this long ass epic.
I don't know. It's like that reminds me of the Radicals, the new Radicals.
Hmm.
You know that song like "Don't give up, you got a reason to live."
Sure.
Heads or tails, you know, I got what you give. Um, those guys, they have the same mentality. From what I've heard, the new Radicals, they are let's just say He constantly wanted to develop himself. So every time he found something, it
Oh,
was like, oh damn.
thank you very much for the
Oh,
210 bits, Magikarp, Sam.
oh,
Thank you so much.
I feel like we're gonna sell out at this point.
Oh no, 100%. It's happening.
Oh no! Oh no! But the New Radicals, every time he heard something new, he was like, "Yeah, I want that in my song," and he wanted to keep constantly getting better and better. And eventually, he sent a song that was about 30 minutes long, and the record label was like, "No, no, we're not gonna do this. Hell no." Yeah, but it's great. It's great. I know it's great. I know you're constantly adding more to the song, but you need to end the goddamn song.
It has to
I
end
know, I
sometime.
know, but it has to end the song. But like, and that's why at the end of like the song, you get what you give. You still hear him singing, and that's literally because he has been cut off by the music record studio.
That's quite funny, actually.
Because he was like, "Yeah, I want to continue. I want to send this," and then the music label was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it." And then eventually he heard it on the radio, and it's like, "Oh yeah, fair enough. On the radio, it's probably cut off, but like the full version will be on MTV. He will watch it on MTV, also shortcut it." And then he looked to the label, the record industry is like, "What did you do?" "Oh
Imagine.
yeah, we cut it a little bit. You missed 27 minutes from my. You missed 26 minutes from my song." "Yes, it was a half an hour long. What do you think was gonna happen?"
Imagine not listening to your album upon release.
Exactly. Like, come
Like,
on, man.
what? You listen to it on the radio?
No, but like, you can listen to your album, but like, he has his own album. He has his own long version.
Well,
But
yeah, I imagine
he
as
was
much.
like, he brought the album to the developer, to like the publicists and stuff. And before those people could have sent it to them, the music label was like, "No, you got the wrong one. This is the one that you need." So basically, they did it behind his back, even
That's
though he did
nasty.
everything right. Yeah, that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still a really good song, even if it's shortcutted. But like, yeah, it was kind of weird that this happened. So yeah, yeah, the music industry is pretty fucked in some way.
It really is. That's why, in ways, I think I've said this before. I'm not rushing to sign anywhere. I don't like, given the opportunity. I don't know if I would actually do that, just because of the obligations that kind of come with it.
Yeah, I'm also like, hey, okay, you want to sign something to me? Okay, what the fuck is gonna happen? Like I want to know everything
Yeah,
because I get the feeling I'm gonna be like, either I'm gonna be ruined for life or set up for life. But this comes to like, then again, I'm a guy who does not want to be famous.
that's true.
However, you sometimes have the unfortunate luck of being famous. For example, um, I forgot her name again. Um, the girl with like the chandelier song, like
Oh, Sia.
chandelier. Sia. She doesn't want to be famous. There is a reason why she covers her
Yeah, because
face.
she got
Because
she got tricked into fame.
exactly, he got tricked into fame. A lot of people are doing the same thing. Like, for example, Jennifer Lawrence suddenly just got spotted by a scout because she was walking on the street. She didn't want to be famous at first,
I mean,
and
that's
then
what she tells
eventually
herself.
she became it, and then yada yada yada, and this happened.
Yeah,
And
mistakes were made.
the new radicals, like, sorry, I'm a huge fan of these guys, so that's why
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah, yeah.
talk about them a lot. But like, the main lead singer, he also, like, he has the same things as Shia, like, always, like, when he sings, you don't see his eyes. He always has a hat on, stuff like that. He doesn't want to be famous. He legitimately said, like, give me a blank slate, give me a blank slate, like, not a slate, more like
Yeah.
a like a piece of paper, and just write down how much money you want from it, and I will write amazing songs for you. and that's what he has been doing for his entire life right now. And he has done a lot of great songs, and he was very happy with it. He legitimately said, like, listen, I'm more happy doing this than actually being in a band myself. And then like and then the people are asking, like, why actually, why? Well, you see, simply, I don't like the fame. I prefer to be the guy behind it. I did my work, I got paid, I'm happy with that life.
Yeah, that's entirely fair.
Yeah, it's amazing how people think about it, you know? It's
Yeah.
like it's some people, like, they won't hesitate to become famous or stuff like that, or they become popular. They don't think about the repercussions, and sometimes it's just way too late. Um, Also, another example why you shouldn't be famous: your friends will fucking backstab you,
Yep.
for example, or you will backstab your friends. It really depends who you're talking to, but
Yeah, I
like,
think this is
either
something we
way,
mentioned last time as well.
yeah, either way, backstabbing is involved.
Yep.
Um,
Your
right
back is not
now,
safe from the knife.
exactly. There is a reason why one of the most famous bands, called the OJs, have a song called "Backstabbers." With a smile upon your face all the time, they want to take your place. The Backstabbers.
The OJs?
Yeah, the OJs. You know the OJs?
The OJs have a song called a Backstab.
Backstabbers. You know, backstabbers.
Y-
They stand with a
like the
smile upon their face all the
l-
time. They
l-
want to take your place. The backstab. Backstabbers.
like Simpson.
No, no, there's legit a song. The people are called the OJs, like the OJ, and then an S behind it, and then S afterwards. Oh, no, sorry, it's OJs, like O, and then an apostrophe, and then JAYS, so OJs.
Oh, what's this?
Hold on, let me get the number for you.
Wait, did I make this whole?
Here you go, I got the number for you. I'll permission to send link. I think I can. There you
Yeah,
go.
I don't have restrictions. There you go.
Okay, fair enough. There you go. So yeah, you can play it right now if you want to, but like, this is the song. It's legitimately about them. Like, first it was talking about their wife, but eventually it became the thing. Smile up on their face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers, backstabbers.
Okay, so inadvertently, I'm building this church thing on top of a hole into the caverns.
Uh, I made a little pond so in the farm so that we can just walk around it instead of on the grass,
Oh
or
yeah,
like
good
instead of
call,
on the
good call.
weeds. Okay, then I'm gonna make the construction.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm. Why am I? Why am I building a temple?
Oh, why not?
It's
Might be
an
nice.
it's a nether temple. It
Sure,
looks
why not?
fucking awful so far, but
Oh,
if I
I
build
prefer
in
this over
windows,
the empty one. I prefer
that's true.
this over the empty one.
Let me install some windows. Beam 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 beam.
So, like, are you listening to it right now? Like,
Oh
it's
no, I'm
playing in
not.
the
Hang on.
background, or like, oh, okay.
No, no, no. DMCA.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, sorry, Sam.
Yeah,
The DMCA's. We have to be careful with
yeah.
that.
I'm already in a little bit of of a
Oh, come
bit of a
on, man.
pickle.
You're a musician as well. So, like, hey, what the hell? What gives?
Well, this is the thing. I can cover my most of my musician stuff because I play my own stuff. That's how I get around it. Um, However, recently there was a stream where people requested a lot of covers, and well, you know, who am I to not give the people what they want? So I'm already in a bit of a pickle with the old DMCA situation. To be fair, they were great covers. I think I did a really good job.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it still to be very, how do you say, very stupid how they did that to us.
The thing is, right? So here's the thing. I know that to cover any song in a lasting medium, you need to like pay a license of a sort. Like you basically have to like pay a license to be allowed to play the song. Obviously, like the way it works on Twitch is that you can do a live rendition as long as you don't save it. But the problem with that is like, even if I do save it, like, what am I gonna do with this? I can't sell it in the form that it is. It's not gonna do me any good. It's not gonna do you any bad. So, what exactly, what's the problem? And the worst thing is, this is this is a thing that kind of makes YouTube look good because YouTube is like thriving on covers at this point.
I mean, literally, Ed Sheeran got his fame because he was covering songs.
Yeah, so did Justin Bieber. So here we are.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Then again,
like,
do you
hey,
want more Biebers in the world?
thanks, YouTube. Thanks. I
Thanks,
mean, to
idiots.
be fair, I will have to admit, even though I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, Justin Bieber has been acting better lately. Like
Yes, but his music hasn't been better.
back in his heyday, like okay, like the music still it's shit. I don't want to listen to it, but at least he himself is a better human being. Like he's like slowing the fuck down.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not even gonna finish this temple because it has this weird, like, fucking eerie look.
Fair enough.
So
I
I
mean, you
think
gotta finish it, man.
no, I'm gonna make it look like temple ruins. Is the right leaf? Yes, it is.
That's also pretty nice. Hey, you have a stone cutter, so you can use that
That's
as
true.
well.
That's true.
But yeah, Sam, what do you want us to talk about?
Give us topics.
Give us topics. I'm okay with anything except maybe I guess sex because
We've already talked about that too much.
yeah, true. Get back on our latest podcast on the YouTube channel. Oh, it's sorry for the shilling.
Yeah.
Sorry for the shilling.
It's not even there yet as well. Like
I
I've not been
apologize.
good with uploading VODs at all. At all.
It's alright. It's alright. It's not like people are begging for it right now.
No, no one is.
Like the only person that was begging for it was my mom, and then she heard it, and
She was still disappointed.
she was extremely disappointed. She was like, What's this supposed to be? Like playing Minecraft? No, this is a podcast. But you're playing Minecraft. No, that's not me. But you are playing Minecraft, right? Yes, but we talk. This is just the background. Oh, okay. What the hell are you guys what are you talking about? Talking about music, stuff like sex, stuff like that. Oh, and the okay, interesting. But like, why is Minecraft playing in the background? Mom, it's not about the Minecraft. It's about
Don't get hung up on the Minecraft, Mom.
don't get hooked on the Minecraft, Mom. Jeez, you're embarrassing me in front of my podcast mate. You're embarrassing me in my streams, nuts.
Come on, Mom. Do better.
Come on, Mom, be better. Come on, man.
Okay, this is weird, but I like it.
But yeah, Sam, you have an option here and there. Oh, I do. Oh no, wait. We talked about that last week. For a moment, I was like talk about thirsty women, but then I realized like, hey, we already talked about that.
Thirsty women.
Yeah.
That's what the topic was.
Yeah. Oh, I know a good topic.
Okay.
When do you feel like the moderation of some sorts, and I'm using maybe YouTube, Twitch, Discord even. When do you think it's going too far? Like I sometimes get a message like saying like, "Hey, listen, man, why can't I do this or why can't I do that?" Because hey, this and that, those are the restrictions, but those restrictions are bullshit, and it's like, come on, it was there from the beginning. You agreed to it when the moment you got in. At least, like, come on, man, be responsible, be proper about this shit.
Yeah. I was about to diss on Twitch mods, but I don't want to get banned yet. Fair.
I can do it.
You know, I don't actually have any mods, so you can pretty much do whatever. Funny enough,
I was about to diss on which mods, but I don't want to get banned yet. Yeah.
so
I'll do it for you.
here's a counter question, and I know it seems like it doesn't really have anything to do with it, but let's go with it. Um, do you know what the minimum age is of using Twitch?
Uh, I think it should be like 16 to 18 ish.
It's actually 13.
13.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it very much states that like if you're younger than 13, you cannot have a channel. Like
Yeah,
that's
true.
that yeah.
It's the same on YouTube. Like, you can't have a YouTube channel if you're not above 18
Yeah.
or something like that.
So I was playing and this kind of ties into everything that I was saying earlier is basically I was playing Human Fall Flat with a streamer called Wenofar. This fuck, it's Bob the Trader. He's back.
Oh yeah, Bob the Trader.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, was it Trader Joe? I don't even remember. Come on with. Come on with. Your grave's been waiting for you, pal.
We can't sell anything yet.
Come on with. Come into our humble area. Or I will murder the fuck out of you. There we go. There we go.
Of your imagination.
Come with, Trader Joe. Do you want me to bury you again?
I will fucking kill him.
Okay, but beware of the llamas. I'm gonna ride this llama. I can't ride this llama. Careful, the llamas will spit.
Yeah, but they can't hurt me.
That's true. Okay, wait, I've got my axe out.
3, 2, 1, let's murder him. We got him.
Fuck you. There we go. Problem solved. I got a leash as well.
I got a lead.
Okay.
I got a lead.
So going back to the topic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that.
Okay, well he has a grave at least. Was it Trader Joe? Trader Bob. Okay, well that was fine then. So basically, I was playing Human Fall Flat with another streamer called Wenofar. And basically at some point there was this account that kind of joined in. He's not following me anymore, so he won't get to hear this, I think. But basically, at the time, his account was called Red Eyed Burger, right? And he followed, and I was like, "Oh, you're a content creator. I think the only decent thing for me to do is, you know, since you followed me, and I know that you create content as well, that you like you're streaming, I'll follow you back." And as I do, I found that he's actually quite young, and later he confirms that he's actually 12. And the conversations are weird, but not too bad. Like I can take it. But then after that, you know, I'm hanging out on her stream and he tunes in, and man, he's being toxic. Like he's like spouting out all this shit. Like basically, like he was saying rape jokes, and you know, I don't think that there's any subject realistically, that can't be joked about, but I don't think a rape joke is much of a joke when you say, "I'm gonna rape your mom."
Yeah, that's
not really
not
much
really
of a joke.
It's like,
and
it's
so
like
yeah,
you are bound to, like, it's more like, hey, it's not a joke. It's like either a threat or just trying to make you feel bad.
yeah. Well, I think you like as most 12-year-olds do, which you know I can relate to. I was 12 once. I think he was trying to do like the whole shock humor thing, where it's like, oh, I'm saying something that is completely fucking like not acceptable, in hopes that that's funny somehow. which it wasn't. And so basically, like the mod. So obviously, Bueno is a proper streamer, so she has a mod. Really nice girl as well. The mod is. It takes a lot to get her angry, but this guy really pushed our buttons. And so basically, at some point, like he starts shit talking the mod, which generally isn't really something you want to do.
That's you're bound to be in a disaster if you do that.
Yeah, and so she now asks permission from the streamer if she can ban him, because she doesn't want to like do anything rash. Like she wants to be like proper about it, which very respectable. And then she reports him. Right? She actually times him out.
Yeah.
Then we don't really hear from him anymore until later on. An account comes up that says their name is Lil Demon something something. It's the same guy who made the new account. Turns out Twitch completely deleted his account on account of him being 12. And he says that the moderator was solely responsible for this. And so we kept saying, like...
No, that's not possible.
We kept saying, like, look, first of all, she doesn't have the kind of power.
Yeah.
Because we simply don't allow for her to have that kind of power. That would be ridiculous. Second of all, you were being toxic. You know, be real about this. If at all possible.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's still 12, so, you know what they're like.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're arguing with them, but they're not really listening.
Exactly.
They just want to hear, like, okay, you're right. And then, even then, they're like, yeah, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah, exactly. So, in that regard, I think the moderation was done textbook. Like, done exactly as it should have been done. There's an argument to say that maybe she didn't even have to ask permission, because she was put into that position for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, in that sort of situation, I can see that, you know, I think nothing about that wasn't just. I think that's fair moderation. I don't think there's many moderators on streams that I go to. You okay?
I might have a problem. Oh, no.
What's going on?
I might have a. I almost looked at an Enderman, and he's walking around me for some reason.
Where are you?
I'm near the house. I kind of want to kill it now.
I don't think we have the resources to kill it.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, let's get some armor, and then we're getting.
Stand in the water, dumb sheep.
Just get some armor, man. Get some armor. Gonna be a rough battle.
No, he's going in. He's going into the cave. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But like, let's kill him there.
There he goes. There he goes. Off his merry
No,
rocks.
Let's kill him. Let's kill him. I want to kill him.
Fuck you. He just grabbed. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Ow. Ow. Kill him.
There we go.
Perfect.
Oh my god, that's loud.
That's cool. I had armor on, and it didn't do much.
Yeah.
He only took 3 hearts total.
Anyway, as I want to say, I don't really run into any bad moderators, because the truth is the Twitch streams that I go to are strictly streams that I'm recommended by other streamers that I already follow. So, for instance, DJ, you know, he's got a Discord group with a bunch of streamers in there. If someone's in his Discord and says, "Oh, I'm going live now," then I'll probably watch that at some point. Like, I'll admit I'm not very good with that, and you know, I would have liked to see more streams than I have, but obviously, like, there's so many people out there, and you want to support everyone, and it's just not realistic in that regard.
Yeah.
Having said that, I would never just like go to like a Twitch streamer that I've never ever heard of without anyone to vouch for them, because I find that, like, by doing what I'm doing now, which is basically being recommended other streamers to hang out with and like getting to know them and getting to know their viewer base, which is other streamers, it creates a situation where no one is really toxic in that regard. Like, people will mess with each other, but no one actually like there's no hate or anything like that. There's no toxic behavior. Again, save for the odds like little red-eyed burger, but other than that,
Yeah.
like for the most part, like there's this guy as well. His name is Hadi. He does music on Twitch as well, and he's got an album coming out in a week, something like that. Where
Oh no.
the title track is produced by Mike frickin' Shinoda, which is still mind blowing to me.
Hey man, at least if you're going places.
Yeah, absolutely, and like he's got like 3.7 thousand followers. I was on one of his streams. There were about 50 people there. Honestly, one of the best chats I've ever been in. Like people were fucking great. Um, Super welcoming, super nice. Can't say a bad thing about any of them, and I feel like that only happens when you like stay with that. And
Yeah, that's true.
I
Like,
I don't interact with with bad moderation in that regard because I avoid it perfectly.
I actually have some sort of story about that. So a couple of years ago, back when I was in school, college, one of my classmates was like, "Hey, listen, you need to do something for me. I'm gonna go to a concert, and I want to go to a concert, but I need you to I need you to drive me to it because one, I'm probably gonna drink, and two, the parking here is way too expensive. So you want to do this for like 20 bucks total? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So hence we did, and I eventually was like, I drove him there, and then he went to the like some heavy metal concert, like,
Of course, love
and
it.
I brought him there, and then a couple of hours later, he I was promised like, hey, you need to be here on this time, so that's what I did. I got there, I parked the car because he was probably inside, and at the moment I was sitting there, like I was sticking out like a sore thumb. Like everybody was wearing either black or like had some like brand clothing of the bands showing up, stuff like that. And
Yeah,
eventually, like some sort of, I think he was a receptionist, but I'm not sure. The receptionist was looking at me like, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what's going on?" Well, you see, I'm waiting for a friend of mine, and I'm gonna drive him home, and
promised he'd be here.
I'm gonna drive him home. And he was like, "You know what? Okay, fair enough. You know what? I'll take care of it. You just stay here at the reception, and I'll take care, and I'll try and get him for you.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I'll find him." Okay, fair enough. Keep in mind there were like 200 plus people in that room. I was like, how the fuck are you gonna do that? Eventually, like some time passes, and other people like showed up, like, "Hey man, how you doing? How you doing?" and stuff like that. And they were like legitimately nice about this. Like they were one of the nicest people. Like,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah.
oh, what's wrong? Why are you sitting alone?" Stuff like that. I'm like, "No, sorry, I have to wait for my friend." "Oh, okay, fair enough." And eventually, a couple of minutes later, when the band was done, I was looking at the band. The receptionist showed up out of fucking nowhere. He grabbed the mic politely from the band, from the singer, and just said out his name. "Would you please come to the reception? Your driver is here." And then everybody was looking here, and then the people who already met me, they were like, "Oh, that's you. You're the driver, aren't you?" "Yes, I'm the driver." "Oh, yeah, okay, bye, thank you." And they were so nice. Like it was one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. And then me and my friend were like, I was flabbergasted. I didn't know this was gonna happen, and
Yeah.
it was one of the most funniest things and the most heartwarming things that I've ever experienced in my life.
This is the thing, and like music fans who go to these things, like they can be. I will never forget. There was this one time where I went to a festival in the Netherlands. Um, it was called Down the Rabbit Hole. Um,
I think I know it.
I'll be honest. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did. The problem is this was the first festival out of two that I've ever been to. I focused too much about the people I was with because I felt, I was there with someone that I ended up not really liking anyway. There's a whole story between like bad friendships and all that with that.
Fair enough.
Anyway, that notwithstanding, um, so at some point I was a bit bummed out. I sit outside. I'm just kind of like, being a bit shitty about things. It had just rained, so there was a bit of a rainbow, right? Just a cheeky rainbow through the sky. And the guy sat next to me. Do you know what? I'm starting to doubt whether this was down the rabbit hole. It may have been Werchter in Belgium,
Yeah.
because the guy did say Physica, which is a Flemish word rather than Dutch. But anyway, he sat down with me and he was like, "Hey, do you like physics?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, whatever." I was really not in the mood for a conversation. He was like, "Okay, you see that rainbow there, yeah?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "So what does that rainbow mean to you?" And I was like, "Well, it's science, really. It's just a reflection of the water as it falls down from the sky, hit by the sunlight in a certain angle." And he was like, "Yeah, that sounds about right. But there's something magical about them, is there?" And I was like, "I don't know, is there?" And he was like, "Yes, because everywhere you see a rainbow, there will always be a second rainbow." And then he just stood up and left. And I looked at the rainbow again, and indeed, there was a second rainbow. And
Damn.
since then, every time I look at a rainbow, I think about it again, and every time I see the second rainbow again. It's fucking mind blowing. Because basically, what I find is, if there's a rainbow, right, the reflection goes up a little bit further up as well, and so you know how like, the rainbow is in a certain color order. Like I think it's like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Yes.
So above that, there will be another rainbow, slightly more vague. So you really have to look for it. Roy G. Biv, exactly. So there will be another rainbow just above it. It's a little bit more vague. It's a little bit more transparent. However, the colors are inverted because that rainbow is a reflection of the first one. But I didn't know that at the time. I was like, dude, this is exactly what I need to hear, because that was fucking magic to me. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I want to believe that there's a deeper meaning to it all. Where it's like, if something good happens in your life, you need to appreciate it more than just a good thing. You need to like really, hold on
I
to the good
think you
times.
will. Yeah, I think you won't be the only one thinking that.
Yeah. I wasn't high, by the way. I just want to clarify that. I will say there were a lot of fumes. Because I'm struggling now. I don't think it was Vector because I wasn't that depressed at Vector, but I think it was down the rabbit hole because I distinctly remember it was like by a lake. Um, the thing about down the rabbit hole, besides the fact that there were some cool people who played there, right?
Yeah.
All of the stages had tents over them, and people smoked a lot. And I'm not talking drugs or anything.
Yeah.
I'm talking cigarettes, and
Yeah. Then this. Yeah.
it smogged up everything, and I couldn't handle it. I think that's the main reason why I was just sat outside a bit glum as well, because I was like, I'm just here for like someone else, and I don't really enjoy. I'm not really enjoying myself. Some of the concerts were fucking cool though. Damon Albarn was there. He was doped out of his mind. But he
I
still
mean,
like,
yeah, that's a concert. What do you expect?
yeah. You put up a good concert though. I enjoyed that. Uh, there was a Dutch band called The Wolf who gave me an autograph as well on the script that I was writing, and they were like, "Dude, this is one of the greatest scripts we've ever read." That was quite funny. It was written by friends of mine, so I didn't take any credit. But what else? Oh, the Black Keys were there. That was quite hype.
The Black Eyed Peas? What?
No, the Black Keys.
Ah, the
You know,
Black
the
Keys.
the, the blues rock band.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite hype.
The only thing that I actually go through a lot is like what I always go to every year is the jazz festival, and that's in my
Yes.
city. So yeah, that's why I always go there. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, the jazz festival is quite good actually.
jazz festivals are fucking amazing, and it's unfortunate. Like, I'm still jealous with my grandpa about this because he knows I love it, but and that's why he won't shut up about it. But I love him but still, like, oh yeah, there were these jazz clubs and they were amazing and stuff like that. And every time I hear the stories, I'm like, damn, I want to go to one.
Yeah.
And they don't exist in my country, so I'm like, fuck, if only, if
If only.
only. Then I got really sad again. And, I want to go to one.
Let's
How
go.
why like for real? I
Oh!
think if one opens in the Netherlands right now, I think it will be a huge success. Like if it's the only jazz club there is, it's in Breda. I will be its loyal customer.
To
Like
be honest with
hands
you,
down.
I'm surprised that there's no jazz club in Amsterdam.
Exactly.
Because the
I
jazz
will
scene
be.
in Amsterdam is quite lively.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I will be a loyal customer.
Which country am I from? I am Dutch as well. By law I am. I was born in Israel. I lived in the Netherlands for about 15 years, and then I moved to the UK. So that's the short
So
version of that story.
he has every passport he needs.
Yes, a Dutch one and an Israeli one. I don't have an English passport because too expensive.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, too expensive.
it's
I don't think
£1,500.
I don't think it's not only that issue. I don't think you won't even get one.
Why?
Well, I mean, you're a student. You got here by college, right?
Yeah, but I work here now.
And yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
I have worked here for coming up to 5 years in September.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
So yeah, but it doesn't matter because I don't really want one. I don't think it's gonna give me any benefits. And also, I have to do a test
Uh,
with insane
yeah,
questions that don't make any sort of sense. I have to pledge allegiance to the Queen, which
she's gonna die in a year anyway.
uh must be nice to be able to say that. I can't say that.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
She's immortal. I mean, so far she's proven to be. Like, there's
I
nothing actually
mean,
showing that she's going to die anytime soon.
let's be honest here. Her husband was 99 years old. She's still younger than her husband.
That is true. So
So like,
she has a
so like,
chance.
I don't want to say that she's immortal, but like, come on, man. Like, King George, at least. Let's be honest here.
I need to reshape this.
At least he didn't go to the situation like the other kings of England did. What's that fucker called again? Who had so many wives? That
Oh, Henry VIII.
yeah,
Statistically, she has never died. This is true. That's irrefutable.
yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, you got me on that one, Chief.
Although, you know what they say, it only has to happen once. That's not
Sure.
a threat. That's not a threat. I didn't say anything illegal. That's just a statement.
I think you're worrying too much. I don't think the British are actually watching us.
No, they're not. No. Unless
I don't
DJ's
think
still here.
I think
Go
the
ahead.
British are basically like, I want to get back to my crumpets and tea.
Not one person I've ever met here drinks crumpets and eats tea. That is a false myth.
Drinks crumpets and eats tea.
Yeah.
If we switch it around, then yes, then they exist.
I know. I mean, to be fair, I know a lot of people who drink tea.
Yeah.
I don't know many people who actually eat crumpets. No, I'll be honest, I haven't heard that word in a very long time.
True.
But you got to remember as well, like that's posh London. That's posh London, if at all. That's posh England. I live in South London, right? South Wimbledon specifically. I work in Croydon.
You're in the hood.
I'm in the hood.
Yeah.
You know, I literally yesterday on my way home, I saw someone get arrested on the street in
You
Croydon.
dumb man! Why you arresting me, man? Boom!
I will admit it was quite funny.
I'm getting arrested, innit?
Like literally, literally, I walked up there. Y'all don't know a hood like an American hood.
Hey man, I've seen Hollywood,
Why
and that's already a hood in itself.
Hollywood?
Called it.
Uh,
Called it.
no, genuinely. I mean, yes, American hoods have the reputation of being bad places to be, but just because London is known to be posh, doesn't mean that they're like, East London is fucking dangerous to be in. People live there because it's cheap, but it's cheap for a reason.
Fair enough.
Um, let's do something like this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So Stratford. Enjoy going to Stratford. Like I said, Croydon. Uh, not necessarily a good place to be. Also, Hollywood reminds us as it always does. Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, like, the thing is, I find Hollywood to be a hood in itself. It's just, let's be honest here. Let's just look at the facts. Okay, Hollywood not only has bad people, but also supports bad people. They're only in it for themselves. And if they could, they would have probably killed you and taken your money. But they only can take your money. So I find it to be a hood in its own right if we look at the statistics here.
I guess you can say that.
I mean, it's a small place. Let's be honest. It's pretty small. Only a few people live there. And if you're out of the group, you don't belong there.
I don't. Well, okay. To be fair, I don't think most successful people actually live in Hollywood. I think it's actually the poor people who live in Hollywood.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I think there's more expensive areas in California and LA as well, like Beverly Hills and
Miami.
stuff like that. No, Miami is
Yeah,
Florida.
I mean, Florida's not that cheap though, I think.
The I guess it depends where in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're
Because
Florida man, but
Florida
it's
man.
like you're either living with Florida man or you can watch Florida man let him go in action.
If you don't know a Florida man and you live in Florida, most likely you are Florida man.
Exactly. We back in the day, we always did like we did a game called Birthday Florida Man. So basically, you type in Google
Oh, I
Florida
remember
Man,
this.
and then the birthday date, and then the date of your birth, and then you write down which one is the most, which one has the most fucked up.
Cali is more expensive. Florida is the Hunger Games in real life. Yeah,
So
that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
So for example, if I type down my birth name, my birthday.
Yeah, your birth name doesn't quite help there.
And then I will see. Oh, here in 2017, Florida man claimed to be Florida man claiming to be Alice in Wonderland says hookah smoking caterpillar told him to destroy the liquor store with a forklift.
Nice.
That's my Florida man right there. That's my game.
I think mine was like.
I think I have the jackpot here.
Yeah, I think mine was like, Florida man commits drive-by with an alligator.
Yeah,
Like
okay, that's pretty standard.
actually using the alligator as a weapon.
I mean, let's be honest here. Mine is out of the box. I think mine's way better, mainly because it's out of the box way of thinking.
It is true.
Oh, motherfucker! No,
but yeah,
skeleton.
I've seen some news out of Florida. Police: Florida man threatens to kill neighbors with kindness. It's a hell of a threat.
That's one hell of a way how you do that. Like, hey man, listen. If you don't give me the money, I'm gonna be
Shoot.
nice. What? Yeah, you heard what I said. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
nice.
I'm going to hug you until you die.
It's
He
like,
meant machete style knife. He called kindness. Oh, of course.
of
It's like
course,
when you
yeah.
call your gun diplomacy and you go into a shifty situation and you say like, I think this situation needs some diplomacy. I think
Yes.
that's what that is,
Or like,
according to
yeah,
the
we
article, of
we need
course.
we need peace, and then you suddenly shoot the guy. Like, here,
Yeah.
we got peace now.
I'm gonna bring out my two best friends, empathy and sympathy.
And then
But
just suddenly
they're
two
not teddy
shotguns.
bears. They're son of shotguns.
Exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, like the amount of stuff that I hear about Florida recently has been quite troubling. With the ongoing increase of anti-Semite attacks in the U.S.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the I think they're
It's
probably
it's
worst
it's not
in
only in
Florida.
Florida. It's not only in Florida.
It's not only in Florida, but like in Florida, it's especially bad, especially because I've been told, oh, that's just all over. Yeah, I know, but like
Yeah, exactly.
in Florida, like there's a lot of articles that come from Florida that land in my lap. So obviously, like I know about the ones in New York as well, and middle
I've seen a
U.S.
couple in I've seen a couple in California, for example. I've seen that as well.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like in my
I
country,
need lava.
I back in like when I was like 19 or something like that. I was looking for a job in Amsterdam, and one of the job applications was being a security guard in a Jewish school.
Yeah,
So basically, what my job would have been if I applied for it, I would have just stand on the gate or either sit in like a little booth. Then I see the kids coming in with their parents. I'll look at the parents like, hey, I'm gonna pick up my kid. Okay, fair enough. And then like and then the kid goes to school, and then you have to keep an eye out for everyone outside going in, stuff like that.
yeah.
Yada yada yada. That shit is heavily guarded. Like the schools in Amsterdam, like fucking Amsterdam.
No, it's fun. I'd almost even say like if you were to tell me today that you have that job like advertised to you, I would tell you don't take it. It's simply too dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
In Florida, you don't
I
have
didn't.
criminal and identity protection. If you commit a crime, your name is posted publicly. That's funny because I thought that's where the whole Florida man meme came from. Is that people are just simply addressed on the news as Florida man or Florida woman.
Yeah, true, true.
Um,
Like they,
but yeah, I
yeah, they
mean,
don't say your name, do they?
to be honest, I don't know how. Like, I feel conflicted about that because on the one hand, I would say like, yeah, if you commit a crime, you're stupid enough to go that length. Then yes, I think you should be outed as the scumbag that you are. At the same time, I also understand that that identity protection is very important
Yeah, and
because
plus,
it will chase you for the rest of your life.
yeah, exactly. You don't get a chance of redemption, basically.
Yeah,
I completely understand that. There's no like, hey, you will always be hollowed down by the news. So like, hey, you're that guy who did this, and it's like an issue. But like the thing is, because Florida Man became a meme in
yeah.
itself, it's like
That's how you capture people's eyes. Yeah, it's labeled
yeah,
Florida
that's
man,
like
but if you look up Florida man does X, you'll find the person's name. That is true. That has
yeah.
always been the case.
But yeah, that's why there's even like a birthday Florida Man. Like
Yeah.
those games are out there, and in my personal
Mm,
opinion, I'm sorry, Sam, but I think mine is way cooler. Just saying. He thought he was Alice in Wonderland. Just saying.
you're saying you're sorry, but I don't get the impression that you're saying that in all the honest truth.
I'm legit saying like sorry. It's I think mine's better.
So
If
if
you
you are
think
wrongfully convicted, you're screwed. Yeah, so that's
yeah,
why the whole
sure.
protection of. But this is the thing, like these days, I don't think that the protection of the identity protection is really a thing because people's names
Yeah,
get outed all the time, except
and
if
not
it's a
only
terror
that,
attack
but
for some reason. Like
yeah, but
if it's a
let's
terror
keep
attack, it's like Okay, we're not gonna disclose the name. That's too far. But if you do anything else, it's like, oh no, it was this guy. He did it.
Yeah, but
Scumbag.
just keep in mind that I was about to say anything. Um, this. Keep in mind that there will always be a guy or girl somewhere, somehow, has a phone in her hand or his hand and just record.
Yep. Welcome to the
And
21st
then you're
century.
screwed. Then you're screwed. Done. Over. Over and out. Done. Bye career. Bye life. You're officially, hey, that guy. Or like, hey, that
Yeah.
girl. I need more wood. By the way, please.
Oh yeah, I can sort it out. I'm just hatching chickens real quick. Um.
We have way too many chickens. We need to
Yeah.
slaughter them.
Might have to call it in a bit as well because we've been going for 2 hours. I'm enjoying the conversation, but like obviously,
Yeah, true.
um, but yeah, yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing: I feel iffy about like
Like
openly
the
given because I personally don't really like. I think the news is important because I think people need to be aware of things that are happening and like form their own opinions on it. But at the same time, it's like most of it is tabloid at this point, and most of it
yeah.
is like pushing an agenda. So oftentimes, like when a crime is reported, they will say, "Oh, this is criminal because we believe that what he did was awful and terrible." And I'll be honest, I find it difficult to take any newscaster seriously when they say awful or terrible because they have to be unbiased no matter how bad it is. So I'll say it now. I do watch Fox News, but I will discount my
Ethan.
yeah, I know. I will
Nah,
discount I will discount my opinion on them though because they always do that. They always say like, "Oh, this is fucking terrible. Awful human being." And it's like, I can't really take you seriously when you make judgments like that because you're meant to be unbiased. Um,
yeah, but
Other
we've talked
channels do
about
it
this
too, but like
before.
they do it most prominently.
We've talked about this before, but like I think it's personally healthy if you look at one side and then the other. So I completely understand why you're actually watching this. Like, hey, I I don't agree with you, but I kind of want to know your opinion on this.
Ooh, hang on. It's worse that we don't even report everything anymore. You probably haven't even heard about the shooting yesterday. Incidentally, I haven't. I did not know
Yeah,
that there
but
was a shooting yesterday.
it's yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. You know, it's fucked up when you don't hear about shootings anymore because we're getting used to it.
If you don't mind, could you? We have a shooting nearly every day somewhere. Yeah, but it doesn't make it any less bad.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
do you do you mind like where was the shooting and like you know I mean obviously I don't want to ask for a whole lot about it because it's not about the shooting itself. It's just me knowing. I want to say that I know that a shooting took place, and I can only know that if I know pretty much where it happened. Even though, again, it could have been happened anywhere. Um, yeah, in contrast, you've heard about Austin, Texas, 13 injured
Yeah.
slash counting. Oh fuck, man, that's bad. But see, on the flip side, it's like, have you heard about the incident with Christian Eriksen, the Danish football player?
Now what happened to him?
Oh, okay, I thought everyone heard at this point. So they were meant to play today. Literally, he went on the field and fucking collapsed.
Why?
Don't know. He's in medical care now.
Damn.
But like literally within the 5 minutes that it happened, because I have quite a few friends who are football fans. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. But because of a couple of my friends who are fans, um, they instantly, I knew about it within the first 5 minutes of it happening because people were like, "Oh my god, he's such a great player," and stuff like that. We find out pretty much immediately. However, a shooting in Austin, Texas, which again, not uncommon,
Horrible.
annoyingly to say, but not uncommon, but still, like, had no idea. and it's an awful thing that happened.
Yeah, and when you say that, yeah, that's uh, like another shooting, another one, or like the moments when you're getting used to it, that's an issue. Like
Yeah,
I find it to be horrifying. Like when I think about it, like, oh, another shooting. That's a horrifying way of thinking right now. I'm actually kind of horrified that I'm
yeah,
thinking about it right now because in my mind, somehow, and I find it really I find it really bad of me doing this, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
yeah.
I'm used to it now. I'm used to it happening to the United States, and the more I think about it, the more apologetic I'm starting to feel for the United States.
Yeah.
But then I will crawl back and I'm like, hey, listen, this keeps happening. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? But yeah, it's something that I'm not in the right of speaking because one, I'm not an American, and
Of
two,
course.
I don't know the laws of gun restriction and gun stuff like this and that. I do know from the Netherlands though, and in the Netherlands, it's pretty hard to get a gun.
I think in the US it's still quite difficult, isn't it?
I'm
Like
not sure.
I
I
think
don't know
it's
the requirements.
I think it's quite expensive, and depending on the gun that you want to get, you have to have a particular type of license. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, I'm guessing it's easy. Okay, well, my bad then. Uh,
like my uncle's a hunter, for example,
yeah,
and if he wants to hunt, he did it in the United Kingdom, and he sometimes does it in Germany, but also in the Netherlands. But he needed to acquire a hunting license in the Netherlands. So this is what needed to happen. First of all, he needs to register it himself, and then he needs to apply to a specific registration. For example, he's a hunter, so he is going to focus on a hunting license. Okay, then he needs to go to a therapist and claim that he's still sane, that he doesn't have any
yeah. That
weird
he's not prone
tendencies
to
here and
lashing
there.
out or anything.
Yeah, then he needs to get a license to get a gun, and that's how you like. That's also something that he needs to trial for, like this, that, stuff like that, yada yada yada.
Of
Then he
course.
needs to know the. Then he must know all the animals that are endangered during his trial. So like all the endangered animals, he needs to remember them. He also needs to add them on the paper, stuff like that, yada yada yada. If he knows that, then he needs to go to the guns. Then he needs to go to a gunsmith of some sort. Then he needs a license. And then the gunsmith needs a confirmation from the therapist and from the government of them saying like, hey, he can hunt. And then my uncle needs to confirm. Then my uncle needs to confirm from the government itself to actually hunt on this day, on that time, on that hour.
Yeah. So it's
And
very
he needs to,
specific.
and then the restrictions around the gun itself, like for example, his gun needs to be always in a safe, in a like in a safe with a lock in it, like a key lock
You gotta go.
and
Okay. Well,
stuff like
thank you
that.
very much for stopping
Oh,
by.
thank you very
It's
much.
been an absolute. I'll be back. Like, I think we might wrap up in a bit.
Yeah, I think we might
Um,
have to wrap up, so don't worry about yourself.
don't worry about it. We'll be back next week, and I think next week is going to be the last time for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
But absolute pleasure to have you here.
yeah,
Thank you very much for the follow, for the sub, for the bits. Um, the rules of bits obviously for me is always going to be the same, which is it's not a requirement at all, and never will I ever make it so. However, it's always appreciated, and
yes.
I really do appreciate it. So thank you.
So thank you, Tim. Really appreciate it. See ya. But yeah, the that's what the license is all about, and it's
Yeah.
not just only about the license. For example, if you want to keep it in your home, okay, fair enough, but you need to keep it in a safe, in a lock,
Is
or
it the
something like
same
that.
as Japan, where basically you have to like lock up the gun in a different room than the ammunition, or is it like all together?
Uh, Good question. I don't know.
Because in Japan, that's 100% a rule, and I mean, it depends how you look at it. Obviously, like according to like I guess free thinking Americans,
Good question, but I
might be a bad
legitimately
thing.
don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Anyways, I can't really claim anything. Basically, I have a bit of a story that I don't know if that's the last story of the day, but I hope will leave a little bit of an impact on you guys. Obviously Sam's gone now, but you can catch this on the VOD if you think it's worth it.
Sure.
In where I went to middle school for the longest amount of time, which is the Gemeentelijk Gymnasium in Hilversum, like the
Yeah,
school
yeah,
on top of the hill.
yeah.
Um, near there, like there's a road between there and another middle school, which is the Roland Holst College. And there's a school. There's a road that goes relatively steeply up.
Yeah,
Um,
I know the road.
yeah, and so
I've
that road is
traveled.
particularly well known because um, people get run over there. Like at least once.
Yeah,
Like at some point it was like once a week. Um, and every time that someone got hit, there was a big deal made out of it, and I became apathetic about it as well. Like at some point, I was like, "Oh, another one hit, come on!" And so there was this one time. Uh, Also, it's worth mentioning. I say if I say this, I give the punchline away 100%. But I did have a crush on a girl at that point. I've given away the punchline already, but we're still going with it. One day I come into school, and people seem quite somber. And I see one of my better friends at the time, and I go, well, do you know what's going on? And he said, yeah, apparently a girl who goes to school here got run over. I was like, oh fuck, another one. Who gives a shit? And he's conservative as well. He was also like, yeah, I know, but like they're kind of all over it. And I was like, whatever, fucking get over it. So I go to my philosophy class. That's where the majority of my friends are, and it was dead quiet. Right, one of the girls there was actually crying. Right, and I was like, "What's going on? Like, is this about the girl who got run over?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Wait, who was it?" Turns out, it was the girl I had a crush on. She got run over.
oh man.
Like
And they,
basically, the car took a turn, um, where it simply couldn't see what was going on, but still went over the speed limit, and then literally like when I say ran over, I didn't mean like hit her and then bumped her off. No, I mean ran over her. Like she got under his wheels, and then he still like went a little bit further. Like
yeah,
for a while, like she was in the hospital. She didn't even go to the hospital in Hilversum. She had to be choppered off to Amsterdam because
damn,
they didn't have the equipment to help her, right? And so she was
damn,
stuck in hospital for maybe 2 weeks, and then she pulled herself into a into a wheelchair. Was in a wheelchair for like I think about a month. Um, and then after that, she was in crutches for like a couple of weeks, and then she recovered very quickly. And I remember talking to her at the time as well, and like I think at around that time as well, we kind of half-ish reconciled because I made a pass at her at some point that was really inappropriate, and I think we talked, and we were kind of on good standings. Um, but like I said, like it's ridiculous how quickly you recovered from this, and it was like, yeah, I don't know what happened, but like at the time I felt ridiculously guilty because I was like, well, I shouldn't have thought that way because before you know it, something happens again. It's like, oh shit, this again, and you might get tired of it. But one day, someone
it will happen,
it will happen to someone you know,
or
maybe
even to you.
even to you. But this statistically more likely someone you know because you're kind of included in that statistic.
Yeah,
Anyway,
true. Yeah.
I remember as well. I made a video at that time that I later realized is incredibly inconsiderate, and I should probably check because I'm always paranoid about this. I think I took it down, where I did a challenge video in Mafia 2 where basically I tried to not hit anyone on a very slippery road. Uh, at the time, everyone said it was sweet and it was really nice of me to do that, but in retrospect, that was an awful thing to do. because that was essentially capitalizing on someone else's, mishappening, and I shouldn't have done that.
I mean, it. Uh,
No, like I put her face in the thumbnail and everything. Like it was,
oh yeah.
it was not okay. Also I failed the challenge, but that's a different thing. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that because that was inconsiderate of me, and I thought I was doing something nice, but clearly I wasn't. It is clear to me now. I think it wasn't clear to anyone about that time. I think people were just kind of, you know. Anyway, I think the moral of that story anyway is like, horrible things happen all the time, but it could happen to you. Another thing, bombings in London, it kept happening throughout 2016.
Or
Uh,
stabbing.
Stabbings, yeah, but bombings, people put an improvised bomb somewhere. One time people thought that I was on a train with an improvised bomb. Yo, Mike, how's it going?
Yo.
How's it going, man? Yeah. So basically, there was an improvised bomb on the underground that went off in. Thanks for the bits, Mike.
Thanks for the bits, man.
Thank you very much. Well appreciated. I keep forgetting to tell people this as well, by the way. But like, if you give me bits and then write a message, it will actually read out the message in speech to text. So I appreciate the bits absolutely, but if you want to do something like that, have a bit of a joke with it. How are you? I'm doing great, man. I'm here with my old friend Lucky.
Nice.
We're having great chats tonight.
Yeah,
Absolutely great
exactly.
chats.
It's going really smooth. Even though we have
Cool.
horrible stories, it goes
Oh
really
yeah.
smooth.
Yeah, but horrible stories, I feel like sometimes they need to be talked about, and I do
Yeah,
feel like
exactly. I don't want to.
Mike is saying,
Yeah,
"What's up,
well,
Lucky?"
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing
Um,
well. Thank you for asking.
I think Twitch is one of those environments where sometimes I feel, not Twitch, but maybe the internet more,
Yeah.
is one of those environments that kind of discourages people from talking about horrible things. But we can talk about them, we can form opinions about them. We can bring them to light because ultimately, they are part of, of living, of being. Like life isn't perfect.
Yeah.
So, we can talk about, well, the shooting in Austin, Texas that we literally learned about just now. Um, you know, we can talk about, um, oh shoot, we can talk about bad tenants. We can talk about contracts that aren't being upheld and stuff like that. Shooting. Yes, there was Mike didn't know as well. There we go. So, we had someone on earlier, Duelist Magikarp, or Sam, friend of Lucky's, and we were talking about how news is kind of biased these days, and like reporters are kind of like painting a picture and everything. And she pointed out that not everything gets reported. For example, the shooting that happened yesterday in Austin, Texas. We also didn't know, not a clue. So unfortunately, I can't tell you the specifics of it because simply said I don't know them. But apparently there was a shooting yesterday in Austin, Texas. 13-ish people got injured. It is terrible.
Oh.
It is terrible. And then we started.
Oh no.
What happened?
Oh no.
Well,
I have a witch in front of me.
where are you?
I'm pretty far away. I was trying to get some.
I can't help you.
I know.
But with the shooting as well, we kind of then veered off to something that we can talk about, which is, for us, who are, non-Americans, kind of removed from the situation. In Europe, there's this kind of overarching generalization that
I got a glass bottle.
you got a glass bottle. Great. We don't have an alchemy table. Anyway, there's this overarching kind of generalization about America that there's a shooting pretty much every day, and being as such, it's difficult to care. But at the same time, we can't really think that way. Because before you know it, something terrible happens to someone and then it's like, well, is someone going to be cold about it to you too?
Yeah.
Like, like, for instance, as well, like the other day, someone in Mike's Discord actually casually brought up, and not naming any names because safe space for the most part. Apparently, people he knew were killed in a murder suicide situation. It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if that happens often. That's a fucking terrible thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you get used to it. It's like one of the most horrifying things if you like
Absolutely.
sit down and actually think about it. It's the most horrible thing ever.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember we were talking to him briefly. I think he's okay now because obviously he had the time to kind of like adjust to the idea. But obviously, like we kind of all came together and we were like, dude, if you want to talk about it, because that's the least you can do around about that time. But like, yeah, terrible shit happens all the time, and instead of normalizing it, we just kind of have to go out every time and say like, you know what, that is a sad and terrible thing. But again, I'm saying that as us, the people, not news outlets. Like news outlets just need to go, this happened. Just like the school shootings, like a couple of years back. Yeah, it became a very common thing after Sandy Hook's, wasn't it? Like at first that happened, and then it just kept happening. Like on the regular, like at least once a month.
I don't want to say it's her. I don't want to say it's because of her, but like, yeah.
Because of what? Because of who?
I don't want to say like, hey, she is the starter, but yeah, she was.
It was ridiculous. It was. Who started it,
She was
Lucky?
she was the girl who said, "I don't like Mondays," right, or something like that.
What? Sandy Hooks is the name of the school.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought it was the girl who was like shooting.
Yeah. She started shooting because she didn't like Mondays.
Yeah, that's legitimately a reason.
Imagine.
That's legitimate. It happened. It legitimately happened.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Yeah, wait. Let me get the article. I swear to God.
If that's genuinely what happened, then holy shit. Something has gone wrong in this little girl's life.
Yeah, I don't like Mondays, girl. Okay, so it happened. It was a shooting by Grover Cleveland Elementary School in 1993. Okay, so
before our time.
I'm just gonna get the summary of it.
Okay.
The Grover Cleveland Elementary High School shooting took place on January 29th of 1979 at a public elementary school in San Diego, California.
Okay.
The principal and the constituent were killed. 8 children and police officers, Rob, were injured. A 16-year-old girl, Brandon Spencer, who lived a house across the street of the school, was convicted of the shooting. Charged as an adult, she pleaded guilty for 2 counts of murder and an assault of deadly weapon, and sentenced to life in prison on parole after 25 days. As of May 2021, she remains in prison. She will be eligible on parole on September 2021. Ooh, interesting.
That's soon.
A reporter reached Spencer by phone while she was still in the house after the shooting and asked why she had done it. She reportedly answered, "I don't like Mondays.
Fuck me.
I don't like Mondays. This livens up the day." Then
That's demented.
And then which, apostrophe, which inspired the song by Bob Geldof and Johnny Fingers to write the Boomtown Rats song, "I Don't Like Mondays." She legitimately she started a high school shooting simply because she didn't like Mondays. It's one of the most, if not the most horrifying things that I've ever heard.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason I just don't like Mondays.
How'd you even get to a point where like, I would almost even go as far as to say I don't even think she said that seriously. I don't think she actually meant that. I think she actually just said that as a joke because
No,
You know,
or else that would have been in the information as well. You know, like if there
yeah,
was a
but
true motive, if there was a true motive behind it, they would
no,
have
no,
gotten
no, no,
it
no. I'm
out
not
of it.
saying. No, I'm not. Hang on. I'm not justifying any. I'm not saying that there was a true motive. I'm just saying that she said that as a joke and did it completely like without motive because famously the person who said I don't like Mondays is Garfield the cat,
Yes,
right? That's the
it,
same as
yeah,
saying
but Garfield didn't exist yet at that time, I think,
how old is
because Gar,
Garfield?
yeah, I'm actually looking it up.
I thought he was like from the 80s or something, unless I'm wrong.
Garfield started in 1978. So yeah,
There you
Garfield is
go.
technically older. Yeah.
There you go. So it's the same as in the Christchurch shootings where the
Yeah.
guy shouted out subscribe to PewDiePie. Like you can't just say okay, well this he said that because he genuinely likes PewDiePie's content.
Yeah.
I think because he shouted that out because that's
However,
a meme that gains.
it is something that will haunt Felix for the rest of his life.
Oh, it does. But the point is, like he said that as a meme, like as a joke to
Yeah.
kind of like probably just make it a recognizable situation. And I think this girl probably intended to do the same thing by quoting a pop culture icon, if I can call him that way. She basically like cemented it that way by saying like like Garfield. Obviously, she didn't say that, but like Garfield, I don't like Mondays. Lol. She probably did that because she was like. Well, first of all, she did that because first of all, there was something psychically wrong with her, right? That should have been
Yeah.
found somehow. Although I do find that sometimes people do things that you can't see coming, like people who you like who you've liked for so long and never show any trace of anything, uh, could suddenly have homicidal or even suicidal tendencies. Like the 2 years ago, I was in the Netherlands for a wedding. And I was hanging out with my friends there. One of them obviously got married, and we were talking about ex-classmates because it's been a while since we went to school. Turned out one of them, probably one of the nicest people in that entire fucking school, she killed herself not 1 month before the wedding, and we
Damn.
were fucking in shock because nothing. She never had any sort of tell that would give away that she would ever be even willing to consider it. Right? You can't read
Yeah.
people that way. It's ridiculous. Um, and so with her, it's the same. Like her parents probably never saw this coming because love is blind.
Of
But
course, nobody really like. Sure, there.
yeah,
Nobody expects a suicide.
and maybe she was like someone who was like joking about shooting up the school, and people were like, "Oh, you," because they were like, "You're never gonna do that." That's obviously a joke, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's a joke, right? Please tell me it's a joke. Please tell. Oh, she. Mm. And so that kind of happens then, and you can't really see it coming. Oh fuck. It's uncomfortable to talk about, but then it's important to consider these things. I think
Yeah. True.
it's
It's an iffy conversation, but eventually it leads to something better in life. Like, hey, if you keep avoiding it, it's gonna haunt you.
oh yeah.
And if you talk about it, then at least you have something in like, at least you have something to heart. If that makes any sense,
It's not even that. I to me like
you can put it in a place.
I'm
You can
not
put it in a place.
I'm not even talking about like it happening for you to like you know process it or whatever. I'm talking about the knowledge of these things happening because
Yeah.
like that was a whole thing. I'm sure you were on YouTube around this time. There was this whole time like a while when YouTube actively demonetized um fucking whatchamacallit. They demonetized videos about mental health. And it doesn't matter what was said in the video, it just got demonetized. So if someone said like, this is me dealing with my depression, these are my techniques to like, suppress the symptoms or whatever, it would be struck down. It would be like, no, you can't make money off of this because this is a sensitive subject, and we don't allow for it. And it's like YouTube was actively discouraging people from talking about these topics, which is fucking. Let's talk about freedom of speech for a second. That was my second.
Yeah.
I don't think much more needs to be said. Second of all, like discouraging people from talking about these things will create situations where now people will eventually run into these situations, having to deal with them themselves, and not really know what to do because they don't have anything to compare it to. You know,
Yeah, but they in YouTube's defense, and I hate saying this, but in YouTube's defense, um, they can also ask advice on other platforms or even in their inner circles. You know?
it's not about asking for advice. It's
Yeah,
about sharing your it's about sharing your experience about it.
yeah, yeah. You got a point there.
Like basic, for instance, Sam mentioning the shooting. We wouldn't have
Yeah,
known, right? Imagine someone who doesn't
sure.
know anything about any shooting ever happened in America. How blissfully they must be living in that ignorance, thinking to themselves, you know what, the world isn't that bad. There's
Yeah,
there's not many that bad of a thing happening in the world. And then, they decide, you know what, Austin, Texas, what a safe place to go. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not telling to people not to go to Austin, Texas, because I haven't been, but I've heard great things about it. Apparently, their food is fucking fantastic, and I really want to try it. I really want to try it. But disregarding that, they think to themselves, I'll go there. That's a perfectly safe place to go. And they go there, and they see people walking around with guns, and they're like, oh, what's going on here? Because it is these kind of shootings as well. And again, I'm not trying to politically like say anything. It's me understanding the situation. There are a lot
yeah,
of people in Texas who will defend the right to bear arms exactly because of a situation like this, where it's like, okay, well, if someone pulls a gun on me, I want to be able to defend myself with a gun, because there's virtually no other way to defend yourself against a situation like that. I understand that, and I think it's, in a way, it's even pretty fair, to be honest with you. Um, but someone who doesn't really consider these things, they'll you know
yep,
they'll go there like thinking to, and they'll go like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Anyway, um, it's a very warm day today. I think, unless there's
yeah.
anything
Look,
that you want to like finish off here in terms of projects or anything,
no, it's
um,
fine. It's fine.
I think we're gonna call it a day. We've been going on for about 2.5 hours, which is about an hour longer than usual, but I've had a great time. Um,
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
honestly, big thanks to Mike and Sam and Danny, DJ, um, and everyone who came by to watch here. And obviously, Sam, thanks for the, you're not here obviously, but I've already said it. Thanks for the follow, the sub, the bits. Mike, thanks for the bits. DJ,
Yeah, thanks
I'd
everyone.
say thanks for the bits, but that was just my due payment for yesterday. Um, just so you know as well, these bits, like, at some point, what I'll do, as I do usually, is I tally them all up, and I make sure that I remember exactly how many bits they are, and I reinvest them into the community, because I don't think I should be paid for this, especially not in its current state.
Well,
So
I'm not getting. I don't want to get jack shit out of this. I'm just doing it because I
there
like
you go.
talking to you. Yeah.
So this money is being pushed entirely into the Twitch communities. Um,
Exactly.
like, I don't want any. I'd love proceeds from this, because that means I can buy better gear, like maybe a better computer for music streams, like a stream where I'm actually recording music. That'd be cool, but I don't think I'm there yet, and I don't want to ask any of that. So this session is what, 500 and about uh 540 bits, I think. So
Yeah.
540 bits I owe to the community now, and I'm doing that with love and pleasure, because the people in all of these discords and communities and stuff like that, um you guys are great, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate you guys being so welcoming to, well, me predominantly, but obviously to Lucky as well by proxy.
Nah, the rest. It's the least I can do. It's the least I can do.
Oh,
So yeah.
I was thanking them for
Let's.
being nice to you, but yet obviously thank you as well for being here and having these chats. And we will see you guys next week for our last episode for a while.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. So yeah. See you then. Goodbye, everyone.
Good night. Actually, no. Before I go, I nearly forgot. I keep forgetting this with my fucking YouTube brain. I know we only have 3 viewers right now, but I'm going to trigger a raid. So
okay. Fair enough.
So let's do this properly. Um,
I'll leave it up to you, my friend.
let's see who's live right now. I see Mikey D is live right now. That's about it. Anyone in chat still that wants to suggest a channel? Because
I don't have one in mind right now.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm gonna rate Mikey then. So thank you very much.
Yep.
Let me set it off to go. He is actually doing things. He's got 2 viewers. Let's double that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So again, thank you very much. And I will see you guys next time. Good night.
Good night.